Okay, Sinatapi. And that means my spirit is really happy to see your spirit. And how are you doing? Welcome to Native Wellness Institute's Wellness Wednesday. I'm out here. This is called the backbone of the world, in the Blackfoot Confederacy. It's the Rocky Mountains, and it's turning fall. We've had snow. Now today's sunny. So welcome to Native Wellness Institute's Wellness Wednesday. I this morning I was asking myself, who am I? Because everywhere I go, people call me the badass auntie. But then the animals that I know here, I just, they really know me over the years, walking in the woods and building treaty with animals. And then my 85-year-old mother turns 85 in a couple of days, and yellow flower woman, Yaskriptadaki. So I am her oldest biological daughter, and I am my dad's oldest biological daughter. He went on to the big, he used to call it the Big Sandy. That's where he went in 2002. He passed from lung cancer. So, okay, Wellness Wednesday. This is this September month for Native Wellness Institute. I just wanted to do like a recap and tell you some of the things that we learned this month. But I wanted to start today. The reason I'm here is because I'm gonna cross what we call is the medicine line. Up here is Canada, and below here is Montana. And Nistu Skapi Pikani. I come from the 1.5 million acres in Montana. But I have a whole bunch of relatives at Sixikai, Kainai, Apatsa Pikani, and Amskapi Pikani. And then I realized I have a whole bunch of relatives that come from many tribes, like our Native Wellness Institute. Jolene Joseph, Jean Tagabon, Thosh Collins, Lavina Louie, Jackie Blackbird, and our honorary Cecilia Fire Thunder, our board of directors, and then we have hundreds of consultants. We're intertribal, or what would you call it? Inter-indigenous, because we have a lot of black Indians, maroons, we have a lot of Indipinos. I love Indipinos, half Filipino and half Native. And just loving all of our people, even if they have a pinky drop of Native in them, they are us. And so we just welcome you to Native Wellness Institute today. So I'm out in the bushes. I guess you can call me a bush Indian. I got Wi-Fi. I got bars here, so I'm. If you see right here, this mountain is known as Grinnell, but Blackfoot they called it single shot, because when Grinnell, we had many explorers come this way, and he was one of the ones who was our ally. Well, they're our ally when they want to marry us, right? And not just for our land, because a lot of them came here just to marry a Blackfeet Indian for her land. Anyway, Grinnell is known as single shot because they used to just have a one single shot, and he shot a mountain goat right here, right where my finger is pointing. Right going into here is, if you just drive up the road, is Going to the Sun Road. And we welcome you. You guys should all come here, because it just it's closed at Jackson Glacier. We're in an area where we had 100 glaciers, and we're down to 26 glaciers. So yes, our Earth is changing. But today is just very, very important. It's good to see all of you on here. Welcome to Native Wellness Institute's Wellness Wednesday. Because this is a big healing day for Alberta and Montana. I'm gonna cross we call it the medicine line, because there's still medicine between all of us, all of the First Nations, and all of the tribes in Montana. So we're only as strong as that international bond. And so I'm going to go up to Lethbridge, which is actually just an hour and 10 minutes away. And if I go south, Great Falls is 3 hours away. So I'm closer to Lethbridge, Alberta. And today I have this shawl. I'm dressed in red because, get this, it's our 17th annual Spirit Walk and Candlelight Vigil for all of the Native women and LGBTQ2 spirit people. And now we're calling just all persons that are missing and murdered from our Blackfoot Confederacy. If you see me looking around, it's because the Stinky Mouth, are Boxiquay, are grizzly bears. I have like 7 grizzly bears hanging out. And so if this is the last time you see me, I died a good death. I wasn't all tied up to tubes in the hospital. I got taken out by a bear. I don't think I'll get taken out by a bear, but one of them. So I'm heading up there because this vigil, they always ask all of the grandmas to come. And they ask the grandpas too, but it's mainly the grandmas. They've been asking the matriarchs to come, and we all bring pictures of those of our relatives that are either murdered or they're still missing, or they're just not found yet. And people bring pictures. I have a list of maybe about 30 of our people that are still missing or have been murdered in the Blackfoot Confederacy. So that's why we're all wearing red today. And it's just we get all kinds of people as far as Calgary. I just want a shout out to the English family, to Patsy English and her family, her mother, all of them. They just finished a walk from Brockett. They walked all the way from Brockett all the way to Calgary, depends on the dialogue, in honor of, they call it calling back her spirit. It started with Joey English, and then other English, that's the name of their family, is sometimes it's really hard to talk about these things, but you know, Joey was found in the dump at Calgary. They only found like her torso, and she had been missing. And I cry because there's still a whole bunch of Native women missing, and Native men, they're still missing. And even here on the Blackfeet Res, they said they found another body, and they're not releasing the specifics, but there was clothing and it got unearthed. So it'll be good, it'll be healing for the family that their relative has been missing, and then we'll get to heal. So these are healing tears. And that's what happened this month with Native Wellness Institute. We were at places where it's just okay to cry, and cry till your snots come out. I don't think you want to watch me just cry till my snots come out, but and I laugh because I guess I choose joy a lot of times. I heal, and then I laugh because I think that's what our people do when we heal. That's why we're crazy ass Res Dogs fans. That's why we're making movies left and right with the humor about, you know, historical traumas. This weekend, Craig Falcon is still making the undisputed truth about the 1895 dispute over some of our land. We just finished a film called The Buffalo Spirit with Thunderheart Media. Alea Plume, Alea, but we call her Alea in the film, and I'm also her gruff auntie. That's why see my eyebrows, I couldn't have color on my nails, and I had to have gruff eyebrows, so they're not I guess they're not tailored, they're just like Neanderthal, bushy. Look at him. And most Indian grandmas, just like our eyebrows like just meander. And it's okay because we're way past competing with other women. You know, Indian women, when you become a real Indian woman, you don't compete with other women. You bring them in as sisters. And so I want to say something about that and like this walk that I'm going to. You know, I was just, I was really happy for our country. We just had a national alert. Thank you, President Biden. It was on my phone, and it was on, I was listening to music on the dish, and all of a sudden, beep, beep. It's a test, but it's a way that we can all be alerted. I just think that's really good. But I want to alert you to the 17th annual, and like I was just blown away. God, we've been doing this walk. And I had to finish my income taxes, which I just finished last night. And I'm one of those Indians. It's really, I pay my taxes and I try to be trustworthy. And I try to be honest, but I wait till I file an extension and then I give the federal government every year some of my hard-earned money, even though they stole my land. Even though they stole our land, stole our identities, all that kind of stuff, I still love my country, so I still pay my taxes. But I always file an extension, and so they're due October 15th. And speaking of, how many of you out there got your loans, your student loans forgiven? I just think that there's some incredible justice and some payback with, I paid my student loan off 20 years ago, but I just have like Dr. Cindy Stone Brown, she just got forgiven. Some of my family members just got forgiven. And I just hope that you out there got your student loans forgiven, because they seem to be doing right by, I mean, it's crazy to be paying $600 a month, $800 a month in your student loans for the rest of your life. Right? So this student walk, the spirit walk, this university walk today, and the community walk is every year it just becomes more healing, and you see the generations. Like 17 years ago, some of the women that used to walk aren't here anymore, but we have this whole younger generation that carries pictures of all of our missing and murdered. I have a list. I'm going to carry it because we never want to forget. And that's how you bring awareness, and that's how you bring intervention. Where if we stay silent and we don't talk about this, it'll just keep happening. It's just like if we stay silent about the fentanyl overdoses, it'll just keep happening. What we need to do is look at how we bring awareness. And I was listening to yesterday, there was a great talk, Native Dads Network, and one of our members, Gene Tagabon, they're going to have a men's Healing Together conference next week. And White Bison, Native Dads Network, Al Pooley's Native Fatherhood and Families Association, and Native Wellness Institute, we're planning the 2024 Healing Together Conference, which is going to be in Bainbridge, September 2024. So please put it on your calendar. But this walk today, I just wanted to share with you because, you know, that's why I'm wearing red. That's why, you know, last year someone gave me some beaded earrings that looks like a red dress. So wear red today. Wear red every day. Woohoo! Badass red. Wouldn't that be something else? All red every day. If you're red, wear red. It would just be so awesome. But we're heading up there as soon as I finish with today is Wellness Wednesday. And so I wanted to describe to you a couple of things that have happened this month that Native Wellness Institute has been at. One, our executive director, Jolene Joseph, is on the planning committee of Healing the Spirit Worldwide. And it happened in Vancouver, September 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And guess what? The baton was handed to the United States. So 3 years from now, in 2026, in Washington, D.C., we'll have Healing the Spirit worldwide. So please come. This is like a Yahoo, because there was 3,800 of us. A Native Wellness Institute was prominent. We had our young people. There was an area. I think Levina taught everyone how to play stick game. Yelling, screaming, guessing. I mean, Levina was out there. Shailene was out there. I think Tomas and Sierra. We just had this. I think there was about 23 of us. And then Chelsea and Thosh, they came. I mean, it was so beautiful. They got to talk about the philosophy behind their new book, The 7 Ways of Culture. And so they were one of the keynotes from the United States. And then we just had Gene and I did, whoa, that was, I just wanted to share it. It was called Grief and Loss for Indigenous People. And we had about 500 come to the workshop. They were sitting on the floor. They were stacked in the back. And we just opened the door to grieving. And we ran out of tissue paper because people came and released. They came and they cried. Since we had been together in 2019, they just came and they had so much to release. So one of the things on Wellness Wednesday, I'd like to just ask you, you know, the grief is as big as the love. I'll say that again. The grief is as big as the love. And those of us, when we spiritually grow to a place, we love everything and everybody. We forgive everything and everybody. Even your exes, eh? Forgive them, pray for them. That they have a good, long, healthy life. And what happened was this humongous release. And the only way I can explain it is one man gave testimony and the whole group just lifted him up and for showing us that he could cry till his snots came up. A native man, and there was so much healing. And that was also the day that everyone wore orange for Every Child Matters. And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful that some people had to go take a nap, or they had all these British Columbia real Indian healers. And you know, I just say real because they're not like selling anything. They brought their medicines and they brought their eagle fans, and even one of the grandmas, she brought all her crystals. She doctored people with crystals. And then there was doctoring Reiki, indigenous Reiki. There were a lot of people with healing hands, because some people heal with their hands either by kind of touching or touching. Or you know, when you have when you make love to someone you love, woo, that's good, right? But what about healing? It's the same thing without any intercourse or sex. It's healing with the hands, the energy of the hands, the energy on your body. They had all these healers, and there was an elder. He had skinnier braids than me. You know, as I get older, it's okay, get skinnier braids. It's okay. But he had his eagle fan, and I went to him twice, and I just unloaded. I said I need to be cleaned off, because when I'm working as a conduit and helping people heal, I take on and it sticks like fly paper. So remember that when you're healing, if you work in any of the helping fields, it's invisible, but it sticks to you like fly paper. And you have to get that cleaned off so that your body doesn't absorb it and get sick, and then so that you don't get a pissy attitude, as Blackfeet said. They say, ooh, geez, they were pissy. That means you're grumpy. That means you're not fun to be around. You're just pissy. That's kind of our jargon. But when you're not fun to be around, when you're grumpy all the time, that means you're not in healing or recovery, right? So that grieving loss that Gene Tagabon and I facilitated. And then we brought in our brother Wade, one of our longtime trainers that has come back to be more prominent is Wade McGee. And of course his wife Debbie, you know, she comes with it. And then Lavina, Debbie is Lavina Louie's older sister. So we brought in Wade and we did an incredible healing. So what else happened at Healing the Spirit Worldwide? And I think, this, I'll put some of the testimony on Native Wellness Institute. We had, one of the closing keynotes. There was a lot of Aboriginals. There was 400 Maori. But one of the Aboriginals, and they call them the lost children, because when they took the Aboriginal children, there was no record of where they got them from. And so we had the testimony of those who made peace with themselves, those that had forgiveness, those that found out what their identity is. And man, that speaker was something else from Australia. And then, and Kia ora, all the Maori. We met the Maori who watched Wellness Wednesday on Native Wellness Institute. Kia ora. And then we just had so many healers from across Canada. We had good representation from Ontario. We had a lot of, I went to one workshop, and one of the workshops, I swear, that grandma, you only get to speak for like an hour and a half. And when she was done, she sang, and I just closed my eyes, and I feel like her song healed us in that room. Like the songs healed us, the dances healed us. And that's why, I don't know if Linda's on here, all the powwow people. Welcome to Native Wellness Institute, and that's why we need to dance. That's why we need the song. That's why we need to just celebrate with each other that we're still alive, that we still have our ceremonies, that we still have our language, that we still have our land base. We got 1.5 million acres right here. You should come and visit. There's snow on top of the mountain over there, and I'm out here because so I can see in case any of the bears come. And that's just life in Montana. So at the Healing the Spirit Worldwide, there was something in that last keynote, and I just wanted to share with you because this is Wellness Wednesday, is start your prayers for our earth, our water, and our air. Because I think the indigenous people in the globe are making a difference of healing our globe with the climate change. And it was interesting because what I heard this elder say is that in the prophecies, he said, in the prophecies, they talked about that when the earth is going to try to throw us off, and one of the ways the earth tries to throw the humans off is with asthma and allergies. And he just started describing because like on this reservation, we have a whole bunch of lupus, we have a whole bunch of asthma, we have a whole bunch of Blackfeets die at 400 times of bronchial cancer here. And so then I just say that, so here's the proof. So let's try to do things. And I hope you can hear me. Because the wind is, the wind can get, if I all of a sudden go sideways, the winds are really good. Woo! Because the wind is picking up here. It's causing waves on the lake. It's all of the branches around here. I just see all these yellow leaves. Think about that prophecy. And then so I thought about, when I was 17 years old, and I've shared with you before, I was privileged to listen to Thomas Binyaka. I was privileged to listen to Oren Lyons and Philip Deere when they talked about some of the prophecies. And they said there would be 4 giant challenges for the indigenous, or for Indian people. And one was a black book. The second was a liquid. The third was a song. And the fourth, they described it as a deck of cards. And so just those challenges, they said the way that you make it through is you have to, and it was symbolic, they said to have long hair and know your Indian name. And I think that just means our culture will get us through there. We obviously know when we were up in Canada, and I'm going up there right now, just a couple days ago, we're going to Indigenous Day, we're going to Every Child Matters. There's more and more residential schools, and there's more and more bodies of our babies found on this side and that side. And so that's the healing. But that black book, some have interpreted as the Bible. And I just have to say, however you believe, but they just said that would be a challenge to Native tribes and to Indigenous. The black robes, all of the healing movies that we have now, that we know we have to heal from the black robes. I'll just say on several of the reservations that I'm working in Montana, and I'll be going to Wyoming, and I'll be over in Nevada, is we have to heal from the boarding school era. And I'll just say right now we're finding a pattern, of children that were either murdered and buried and never found until now. But we're also finding a pattern of abuse, and that pattern, and I'll just mention it because this is something we need to heal from. We now see in some communities where if the priests and the nuns perpetrated the altar boy or those younger around the church, then they become the perpetrators. And we can break that cycle and stop that cycle. And we are. Yesterday I was just so uplifted listening to Mike Duncan and a lot of our Native men talk about breaking cycles. I heard some young men here say, I'm breaking a cycle because I am present in my children's life as a Native man. That's breaking a cycle. Instead of just leaving, I am present. We can break that cycle. Another way that we can break that cycle is to put down the numbing agents, whatever's numbing us out, the alcohol, the Oxycontin, the fentanyl, or other things like sex addiction, shopping, gambling. We can put those down and bring up the positive and the resilient. So on Wellness Wednesday, I wanted to share, so one of the things that was just so beautiful at Healing the Spirit Worldwide is that everybody hugged each other and everybody celebrated each other. And even Gene, at one point, Gene Tagabone got up there on the microphone and asked all of the men who make a vow to stop the violence against Native women that they stand up. And also to make a vow to stop the violence against LGBTQ Two-Spirit, to stand up. And at any one time we had over 3,000 people in that grand ballroom. Half of the group that were men, and they went and stood up on the stage. They couldn't fit on the stage, and they stood up because they're breaking a cycle to stop the violence against Native women. And part of the breaking the cycle is that they heal so that they're more present to help spiritually grow their children. Now remember, present to spiritually grow your children, giving them their Indian names, changing their diapers, make sure they're breastfed, taking them out regardless of their gender, and teaching them how to gather plants, teaching them how to hunt, and all sports events that they go and it's so important. It doesn't, the team, we're like here we have a football team that for, 4 decades never won a game. now they won 3 games in a row. And our whole community is just like, they go all the time, cheer for them, break the cycle and cheerlead for our kids. Cheerlead. Oh man, that is just so awesome. And so that's breaking the cycle. the other thing is, you know, and I want to just put a shout out to Shailene Joseph and to some of our younger team members, Josh Cocker. I just want to put a shout out to them because we just returned from our Bainbridge gathering, community healing, and they kept saying over and over, and I want to encourage you to use this language, is that the way that we break the cycle is with lateral kindness. Lateral kindness. So rather than be reactive and hurt each other, because hurt people hurt people, and heal people, is lateral kindness. I was just thinking of, you know, my good friend Muffy and Felipa. They gave me a star quilt. I was just with the South Dakota people. I couldn't carry all this stuff, and so I said, you know, could you mail it to me? So she was just messaging me, hey, this is how much it costs, and da-da-da-da-da. But I said, well, what's your address? Lateral kindness, we need to give back to each other. Give back your story of how you conquered addiction. Give back your story of how you left an abusive relationship. Give back, trade medicine. So I was just thinking, I need to, you know, Muffy and Felipa, they're in the process of 4 tribal ordinances that they've had passed in South Dakota that are hate ordinances, because there's repercussions. You just can't go around and hate on people. Whoa, just imagine that. You just can't hate on people, and you can't be mean to people. We want you to be kind. We want you, and you know, one of the ways that you can be kind is, even though someone treats you bad, pray for them 15 days in a row, and you don't carry resentments. You don't carry that harshness. Pray for them. The other way is think about what's meaningful to people. Like when I was in South Dakota, of course that star quilt was meaningful because it's a medicine blanket. And I'm going to put it on my bed this winter, and that star quilt protects you. I know some people who go through chemotherapy and wrap their star quilt, their medicine blanket, around them. But think about the stuff that you can give of kindness. Like one of the good gifts I got there was just a whole bunch of sage, a whole bunch of willow, because they smoke that in their pipes, a whole bunch of cedar, whole bunch of sweetgrass. And I just think about or just the kindness of, down here they really love Tim Hortons. You know why? Because it has double the caffeine. But I was up there and they had a Walmart at Pincher Creek, and I hadn't seen it, and I was just so happy. They had Tim Hortons, cans of Tim Hortons for $21 Canadian, so that's maybe like $15 American. And I just bought a couple of cans because my one friend down here in her restaurant, she said, yeah, give me some Tim Hortons. And so I probably, when I go up this time, so the kindness of, and I don't even drink coffee, but I like people when they drink coffee because you can really talk to them. Yeah. With their cup of coffee, boy, they can talk. They can converse. Oh my God. But that kindness, so I got her a couple cans and I left it there just with a note, just, I cherish you, I love you, and you leave a gift. So bringing back this lateral kindness, and on Wellness Wednesday, just even put the word when you're ready in the morning, you brush your teeth or you fix your hair, lateral kindness. And I don't know how to describe, when you start to give out lateral kindness, when you start to give lateral kindness to people, you get it back tenfold or 20 times. Just good things happen in your life. Just remember that we can give out lateral kindness and work that we use. Telling someone, and mean it. Tell them what you really like about them. I really like what you cook. I really like how your house is such a beautiful, comfortable nest. I really like how you sing. I really like how you talk. I really like how you describe things. I really, just the words that you tell people, lateral kindness. And so in that, one of the things that we learned in this lateral kindness is in your language, like in ours, it's skapkonen. And people think it translates to I love you, but it's much deeper than that. So find out in your language how you say, I cherish you. Say this to your children, I love you, I cherish you. If they hear that, if we hear it, and even say it to yourself. I was thinking of Gene Tagabon and I, we had this whole period during the pandemic where we had everyone for 21 days. They say for 21 days, when you get up in the morning, no matter what you look like, look into your own eyes and say, I love you. And people described to us, at first they couldn't do that, to look at, geez. Look into their eyes and say, I love you. I love you to yourself for 21 days. And you begin to, when you love yourself, you take better care of yourself. When you love yourself, you eat better, you cook better, you do some exercise or walking, you read books. When you take care of yourself, it's just, there's so many, when you have self-love. I was in South Dakota and I got a 90-minute deep tissue massage. Self-love. I get, the reason I get my nails done, Cecilia Fire Thunder taught me this, that this is self-love. And I think I better get my Godzilla eyebrows maybe waxed today for I had a pedicure. But how else? Be gentle with yourself and learn to say charming ways or graceful ways of saying, no, I can't do that. Because some of us, we just say, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll take care of that. Yes, I'll write that. Yes, I'll do that. And next thing, we have a stroke. Learn to say no. No is okay. Self-care is, you can say like, let me think about that and I'll get back to you. Can we look at a later date? I think I have too much on my plate right now. There's just creative ways to say not now, so that we not obligate or overextend ourselves. And I think that's, I've been at home the last few days, and the gift of working on my taxes, because it was for the year 2022, it was like a life inventory, and I got to see why I need to slow down, or I need to work and then put self-care days. Work, put some self-care days. Work and put some self-care days. And so I just, I'm doing that, right now, because part of my self-care is I text all my family up there. Deb Pace, I'm coming up. Text Deb Eli, I'm coming up. Text Roger and Charlene Prairie Chicken, I'm coming up. And I just put it, I'm just coming up, and I'll meet them at City Hall, and we'll put on our Kami Poismanix. We'll have all of our pictures, and we'll have singers. Last year they were like 8, 9, 10. They were young girls. They had a young girls drum group, and they sang the whole way we walked. And I'm hoping, they'll be there again this year. And then this is the cool thing, and this lateral kindness. We symbolically put red dresses in the trees. We hang them the whole way we walk. And then in the park in which we listen to families and we light candles and we sing songs and we smudge people, is we have red dresses hanging, and that's why we have these earrings were given to me last year, and I saved them to wear at really special occasions. So that lateral kindness, what else what else can we give in words? You know, we can say I forgive you. We can say let's start over. Or we can, you know, there's with the words themselves. One of my young nephews, Judd, today is his birthday, and I was thinking of him as a young boy, and he got married. He got married this last summer, and I just admire him and his new wife. And his new wife had a daughter already, and he the three of them got married. And I was just, so the lateral kindness today, when I knew it was his birthday, the way that I posted a picture of them kissing, where he bent her over when they got married. And I think that's lateral kindness. So one of the ways, let's be creative on social media when and maybe it's for no special reason, maybe it's their birthday, maybe it's their anniversary. Post positive pictures on their page of when you saw them, and that's why you love them, that's why you care for them. And I was starting to look at the pictures. I had all kinds of pictures of him, you know, where he's hunting, where he's always chops wood for me. And Judd was the one, Russell Judd was the one who I asked to dig Ocon Iron Pipe's grave, because I knew it was going to be soon. And he came and he dug it with love. And it even rained before Ocon passed, but he's that kind of loving person. And then I see the loving things that how he treats his wife now. I see the loving ways that he treats his brothers, that lateral kindness to brothers, that lateral kindness to his mother Paula, that lateral kindness in everything. And even in his job, he cooks at Cattle Baron. He cooks the meat perfect. The buffalo ribeyes perfect. He makes the salads perfect. He makes a salad. You know, when we're cooking, that lateral kindness, that cooking for someone, they say one of the greatest gifts that you can give is to feed people or to cook for them. And so I think about that with Russell, you know, and think about what you can make. Like I was thinking, I think I'll just go get a turkey and have a full turkey dinner with cranberry and everything, just because. Just because, to be thankful. Or what if you get 2 extra turkeys and you go around and you give some to an elder, or you go to a family and just say, hey, I was thinking about you and how much I cherish you. Here's a turkey. Or you give them a whole buffalo, or a whole elk, or at least a drive-through McDonald's burger. I mean, think about the lateral kindness when we give food. You know, when we have extra. My niece Mariah Gladstone always growing purple potatoes, but she even gave me a salmon river squash plant, and it grew some squash. So giving a plant that grows squash, giving purple potatoes, giving, you know, the things that we love. You know, like I was just laughing because I love Brussels sprouts. That's one of my favorite. I love. And my sister and my mom came over and we ended up cooking, and I go, well, I can make you some Brussels sprouts. I have a giant bag. So I always make a lot and eat a lot, but they were like, God, how much did you make? And I go, well, this is lateral kindness. Eat some of this. And it's okay if you fart. Because farting is free. Farting is letting go. Anyway, lateral kindness. Give food. Speaking of, I think it's now we go bow season to hunting season. In our tribe, one of the lateral kindness things that they do is they have a lottery. And last year, to be laterally kind to what enrolled and descendants, they had a lottery of a bull buffalo to a descendant one, an enrolled member, and then an elder one. And so that I won a buffalo, and I had like 530 pounds of meat. I just gave it away. I gave my relatives, Rod. They had coolers, so just put it in there, and they we're not supposed to take it across the medicine line, but they just took it and gave out hamburger. Everybody's got buffalo hamburger. My friend Larry and Lee came. I got a brand new roof, and that lateral kindness. My nephews, I'm gonna pay them, but they came and they gave me they fixed the wood, the new tin. They sealed everything. They even fixed my stovepipe to my wood stove. They just lateral kindness. Lateral kindness, I think, is what we can start to give this equinox and this snow begins to come as we look towards the American holidays. I was so happy. I was just telling my sister, I said, I forgot about that guy Columbus. I just call it Indigenous Day. So this kindness. That's why I had to sit outside. I mean, wow, check this out. Wow, this fresh air, the breathing. Lateral kindness to ourselves. Lateral kindness to our siblings. My sister Wanda, who never comes home, is coming for my mom's 85th birthday. And we're pretty excited because she hasn't been here. She comes home for some funerals and stuff, but she's coming for something happy. Come for something happy. That's lateral kindness. Weddings, birthdays, surviving cancer, getting your name, coming out as Two-Spirit. It's going to be National Coming Out Day. Come out today! Or be an ally. Be an ally to LGBTQ Two-Spirit. I break the cycle of homophobia and transphobia. I really, I do my best to be a good ally because I want people to be who they are, their authentic self, and not be committing suicide because they've been bullied or they've been hated on. And so this message of Wellness Wednesday, welcome to Native Wellness Institute. Jeez, I had some hairspray on, but it's okay. A lateral kindness is when you pray for. I got this at the Healing the Spirit Worldwide. I call it my Joe Day reminder of all his life. He left us not too long ago, about a year and a half ago. But all his life, and maybe I'll just end with the story of Joe Day. We, Native Wellness Institute, we started going over to Australia, and we never knew that he was the icon that he was, because he grew up playing, they call it footy, but they call it rugby. But the more money he made, he helped investors, and they created a whole training unit for young Aboriginal men so that they could play rugby. He created blackfellas, over there they call it blackfellas, a place where they could become primo athletes. Black primo athletes. And so Joe Day, I wear this because I was just thinking today, I always, one of my self-cares, I would always take a bubble bath before I got on Zoom. So I knew I was coming to be with you, so I took a bubble bath. And I was, and somewhere they'll say, hey, have you bathed lately? I'll go like this. Anyway, just laughing, but Joe Day always, when we went and worked with him, they don't have, he says time was organic. like it's better if you let time be organic and be gentle with yourself. Yeah, you know, do your responsibilities. But when we first started going over there, we would say, well, what's the agenda? And he would say, don't worry, we're going to have breakfast. And after we have breakfast and we're visiting, then we'll go out for that day and we'll do something kind. So one day we just stopped saying what's the agenda, because we would have breakfast, they would drink their coffee, and one day we went out to a place where there was paraplegics, or people who were from the chest down or the waist down. They had been in an alcohol-related accident and they no longer could walk. And so we spent the day with them, and that was our day. Is we listened to their story, we shared our story, some songs were sang, we gave back kindness. And so Joe Day, that was like one visit. Another time is we were out on their original land. Ooh, I'm just looking over here in case there's anytime you see a black object move, you have to make sure it's a bear. Lions and tigers and bears. Anyway, Joe Day, he one day we ate breakfast and he said, what are we gonna do today? And he goes, well, we're gonna go over here and we're gonna have a powwow. So we ended up in this big tent, and the Aboriginals, oh gosh, they danced for us. They danced for us. And then we put our powwow clothes on them and we braided their hair, and we had a grand entry of a powwow. We danced for each other. Same thing in Theda, New Zealand, Haka. We dance for each other. We sing for each other. And Joe Day, that was such a beautiful day, because there was I remember he was a middle-aged man, and he had 15 years sobriety, and he came out and he danced for us, and he looked like he shape-shifted when he was dancing for us. And then I remember him giving me a boomerang, because they use boomerangs to hunt, and they used to use boomerangs that they could bounce and then come up and kill the kangaroo. And he had just made this boomerang and he gifted it, and I gifted that out. But that lateral kindness, we were singing and dancing and gifting each other. And at that gathering with Joe Day, again, these are just a kindness story of how this kind man, the way that they do their ceremonies is they have to start the fire. They call, instead of smudging, they call it smoking. And they take the gummy leaf and they have to start the fire with 2 sticks. We have 2 sticks. Like Josh was doing that last week at our gathering, teaching everybody how to start fire with 2 sticks. But they have this belief that you have to choose a person who's closest to the ancestors. And they chose this young man, and he just had 3 months off of ice. They call methamphetamine ice, but he had 3 months off, and they chose him because he came from the bush, and he was indigenous inside his DNA and who he was, and the spirits were with him. And I remember when we started that ceremony with Joe Day that day, that young man got his helpers and he got the 2 sticks, and he started the fire in 46 seconds. Woo, like that. And then the smoke came up, and then they add a little feel to it, and then that was the smoking by which we started the week-long healing. So one of the lateral kindnesses is light a smudge. Is light a smudge for someone. One of the lateral kindness is be every day. If you know, sometimes you do it in the morning and the evening, but throughout the day, light smudges all day. Because lately I just been smudging. People say a prayer for me, so I stop and I pray for them. I even pull the car over sometimes. They'll say my auntie needs prayers, and I close my eyes and I say prayers, and I astral travel to them, and I give them a blessing. That's lateral kindness. So Jode, I guess, I'm wearing this because I'm reminding myself when I look at it that to give lateral kindness everywhere I go. And pay things forward, like, something as simple as, when you're driving through to get your coffee, pay for the person behind you. When you pay for your electric bill, pay for an elder's electric bill. When you go into a restaurant and you see some elders eating, pay for their meal. And just let it be anonymous. They always say in recovery, do something for someone where they don't know. That lateral kindness where you don't have to claim the responsibility for that kindness, but you just give out that kindness. Oh, that just feels good. Wellness Wednesday, we come, Native Wellness Institute, we've come a long way since this pandemic. Many, many great things have happened. But this Wellness Wednesday, we come every Wednesday, and I just wanted to share that message as I'm sitting here. And I'm one of those Indians, I could be outside all the time. I can just smell the air. So I'll say, hi, o Strabatapi, hi, o Ninda, hi, o Napina Tusi, hi, o Akita Piwa, no Gakimoket, no Gaspomoket. Creator, I ask you, whoever is watching this power hour, whoever got on, whoever took a break, that you surround them with goodness, that you surround them with a good heart, that you surround them with that they see good things, that they smell good things, that they taste good things. I ask all the ancestors to come down, to come to you, to give you good things, reminders of unconditional love, to have good memories of when you were cherished as a child, as an adult, as an elder. I just ask special prayers for these glaciers that give us water. I ask special prayers for this clean air that goes out and everybody has clean air. I ask Sakol, the ground that can emanate energy out, that comes up to all of us and gives us just good energy in our heart from the tip of our toes to the top of our head and inside and out. Ayostapatapi, Nugakimokat Nugaspomokat, Spomokana, Sixikai Kaina, Abatsapikani, Skati Pikani, Spomokana, the Ney Navajo Nation and all the southwestern Pueblo tribes, Spomokana, all the coastal tribes that bring back the canoe and the canoe journey and all the blessings. Ayostapatapi, Spomokana, all the rite of passage ceremonies of giving names, a rite of passage of all of our people, that we bring back our language, that we bring back our stories, our creation stories. I just ask you if you could be kind to our earth, let it return to harmony. I ask that we have kindness inside of our bodies and our kindness to each other, that we laterally just give out love, give out unconditional love, give out kindness. Alright, I just ask you, in this way, I'm just gonna share with you the color of the leaves as we wind down on Wellness Wednesday. Over this way and show you the mountaintop. This is Divide Mountain. I always love to hike up this mountain, and I think I'll just end with showing you how beautiful our earth is. white. You can see all the yellow, all the fall colors. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening to these words. And remember lateral kindness as you go about your day on this Wednesday. And we'll see you next week on Wellness Wednesday. Wow, I just feel good. I love all of you, and this is your badass auntie just telling you to be good to yourself, take care of yourself, give unconditional love to your people. Kitakito Matsuno.